Hello, hello, side crew. How are you this evening? All right, well, I am trying to. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been quite a while. I think the last time that I was with all of you was with probably Jolene and Miranda. We had a wonderful time. I was giving them all sorts of fun things to do. So I was hoping to get a little bit better professional work up here. I see my screen is lagging a little bit, so please forgive me for all of that. I am trying to get you up here so I can see some of your comments on YouTube tonight, so I will work on that. Okay, let's talk about what we're here for tonight. Can we have a sidebar, you all? Am I just really lagging that much? I lost my guest I have for the evening. I really wanted to chat about some things that have gone on in the last week that have to do with reality TV. You know that reality TV? Let me see here. I'm going to see if I can get Dana back in here and talk with Dana. She is someone that I've met over the Up and Adam comment section, and she's been on his streams for a while. And I would very much like to talk with her about this tonight because, hold on just one second here. Y'all, I'm trying to see if I can find your comments, so bear with me for a second. Let me see if I can get Dana back up here. Dana, if you're back on here, why don't you pop back up? Give me a holler and get back on my screen so I can pop you back up. Recently, we have had, hold on just a second, let me see some comments. Oh, I see you kicked yourself out. Now, Dana, can you get yourself back in here? Okay, let me drop the link. Hold on just a second, ladies. And I'm going to drop the link for other people too if you want to jump on with us and talk. I will put this link here, yes. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to invite, copy here. Haven't done this a long time. I am not a pro by any stretch of the imagination. I know that I need to get a better computer. Hopefully that will alleviate this lag that I have. Did we get the link up there? Are you able to get that? So there you go. That's up there for you. Okay, we'll get back on my guest that I'm going to have chat with me a little bit. So why I have asked for a sidebar, and let me back up a little bit for those who haven't been on the side with TLC. You know, there's only been 2 of them. So haven't you been? Where have you been? Dana, does that work? Let me know if it does. On the side with TLC, TLC is me. I am Tammy. That's my initials. So I wanted to do a little fun show that includes a little bit of everything. It includes a little bit of pop culture, a little bit of reality TV, a little bit of cooking, a little bit of lifestyle. And it really has to be a little bit of everything and a side of everything, because if you put all those in a whole, I wouldn't have enough time in my day, right? And probably nor would you. So I would really like to do little clips, and this is a sidebar. Sometimes we have side chats. Sometimes we'll have side dishing. Side chats will focus in a little bit more. This is more of a side chat and a sidebar. Side chat, sidebar, legal kind of work. I really would like to talk about why some of us are so quick to judge people these days on our reality shows. I have had some trouble lately with the division of reality TV versus documentary versus regular kind of fiction television. And I have a hard time of putting reality TV characters in the position that we're putting them in is that we sort of dissect their every move. So let me put Dana on. Dana is like I said earlier, somebody. Hey, Dana.
Hey.
Welcome. Dana and I have met through Up and Adam. As a lot of us, we've started getting to meet each other through chats of some of our YouTubing friends and YouTubers. And Up and Adam, we've been talking a little bit about this on his show a little bit. A lot, I think.
Yeah.
We should probably say.
It's all over now.
It is. And I know you were dropping some news on me because I have been keeping up with it. I listen to a lot of YouTubers, and I think that's one reason that I'm a little, and I wanted to get something clear because I know that even Adam mentioned something on one of his vlogs the other day, and I think I was mistaken or mistook when I was talking with him the other day on our live when we were talking about Brauwyn, and we had a difference of opinion, I think, but I mistook. I misunderstood because I am in no way condoning that minors and drugs, those two do not mix together. I don't care what age, who you are. It's not something we condone as a parent, not a parent. We all know this, right? I mean,
Right.
It's a pretty simple thing. When the news broke, as a mom, we talked about this before, as a mom, as an adult woman, I don't believe that another adult mother would do anything like that. I find it hard to believe. Would you not?
Well, watching the news sometimes or reading the paper, I think it would be rare, but there are those mothers that I have personally seen in the emergency room that you would be sickened by what some can do under the influence.
All right. Okay, so I guess this all goes back to maybe it's not her in her right mind. It's Brauwyn in the days of her heightened alcoholism, correct?
Heightened alcoholism or whatever ism.
Well,
I mean, but we don't know. We don't know.
That certainly is being brought up now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So again, now this is all now this even makes the matters even more confusing because do we forgive her? Do we forgive people that have had issues of addiction in the past? They've done horrific things. And again, it's all hard to say because this is all to me. I don't see the receipts. I don't have the facts in front of me. I have a legal mind. I was in the legal field for a very long time, right? So I'm not one to rush to make my judgments until you give me a little receipts. And if any of us seen that, and I'm going to say what everybody else has been saying on most of the media that I've been saying, which I don't like the verbiage because it is very important, the verbiage that you use, especially in a criminal matter.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Brauwyn and it has been negated both by Brauwyn, Sean, and Shannon that Brauwyn did not offer her drugs. Physical drugs.
They said the C word.
But again, was it offering her the C word or was it a passing stupid, albeit very stupid? Did she say something in passing that could have misunderstood and taken way out of proportion?
Well, insofar as what's going on Instagram, when the public would ask her, initially she didn't deny it. And then as a little time passed, Shannon and Sean were backtracking and they said nobody offered the C word. So they didn't deny other things. So you've got one of two things can be going on here. Okay. Either she made a mistake, a big mistake, and offered her something or a way to get something. Okay. Something or a way to get something. Whatever that something was that was illegal for a minor. We'll just say that. Illegal for a minor. We'll just put it in that format.
Correct.
Or it was something that was illegal for everybody, something, a way to get something or something, and they realized the ramifications of it all around, even for Shannon to potentially coming out at this point, potentially lose her children, right? And they're covering their bouteilles.
Oh, I see. So you're thinking, okay, so
it could be backtracking, right?
Yeah,
Coming out now to come out at each other because they're irritated. They're like, oh, wait a minute, what did I just do? But I'm with you. I want to see proof.
Right.
But Brauwyn has admitted she did something. She's admitted she did something. So here and we lie with, here's an issue. So now it comes out on E. I did see it online, but the E network, where they're reporting that she did offer something to, now whether they've gotten their facts screwed up, who knows, right?
Right.
But they're coming out saying she did offer something to this 14-year-old. But Shannon didn't find out until much later. This is their story. Shannon didn't find out till much later, and her 14-year-old didn't want to be in the middle of it, as though she was all of a sudden ratting out an adult and getting her mom involved in all of this stuff.
I could see that happening. You know, you could see as kids as just sort of talking to each other, you know, maybe no adults other than, you know, Brauwyn knew it happened, and maybe that's how it came out.
And knowing your mom and this person were friends, that's another level to the problem, and you don't want to say anything. So Shannon holds on to it until she's like, I'm done with this, I'm telling. Right?
Okay, so I could see a little bit. I can make a little bit more sense of that. I could see here in my mind where, because I can't go to the realm that she did something so glaringly stupid. I mean, she has a little empire she's trying to build up, right? You know that you're in the media's light. I mean, again, as you said, though, and as you started, and you prefaced this to say, that would be Brauwyn in lucidity versus Brauwyn not. So, all right, I could get it. The girls chatting. Brauwyn said something at a party where everybody's at. The girls giggled. Can you believe Mom's friend said she could find me some C somewhere?
Yeah.
And that going between the girls, finally maybe another mom overhearing it, or an adult sister or brother maybe hearing it. And then maybe it gets a little bit more serious where the girls have to think, well, maybe I need to tell my mom because she might hear it and I don't want her to be mad at me. And then you can think, all right, well, then Shannon saying, okay, it's not that serious. Because if it was serious, you would do something about it immediately, would you not?
Right.
So to me, then that says, all right, well, it really wasn't that serious. It was really a comment by someone that was obviously incapacitated at that time under whatever it might have been. So it is a joke.
Or she offered it to her, and Shannon trusted her daughter enough to know her daughter was going to say no bueno. And Brauwyn goes, well, I was drunk. I don't remember. I'm so sorry. You know, if it were another form of something that was legal to adults. You know, there are all these layers and levels, right?
Huge. And it sure has gotten a lot of play, hasn't it?
Yeah. But either way, it doesn't look good.
Well, it doesn't. And I don't know for Brauwyn, unfortunately, and her little side of Orange County, she has to hide out. I mean, you know how that's a small town. And this whole scenario has driven her, which, you know, we know what this has taken place. How many, when did the tell all take place? 2-3 weeks ago?
No, the reunion took place this last week, and part 2 happens this week.
I call it a tell-all. I'm a 90-day. So yes, so the reunion took. So they recorded this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, probably, or earlier.
Because then they're setting on this information.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm thinking that all about the tea. She's the one who broke the story. I'm maybe somebody was on cast or somebody broke the story there, but I understand that there might be even deeper levels to this of it not being true because it's being publicized by a not so correct or not so I guess it's not a really nice situation. There's an ex-attorney. Have you heard about that story? That sort of goes out there and provides stories that are not accurate, or at least runs with stories that might not have been backed up. And
well, we have to, it's like, where are you getting your information from, right?
Right. I mean, everybody trusts, obviously, Monica, because of her track record, I guess. So that goes back to my initial point of nobody at this point has really been given receipts. Yes, Brauwyn said something, but to the degree of giving her a drug of some sort or the C word, that hasn't been proven. So why are people really pulling her through the dirt until? Is this not we're innocent until you're proven guilty? I mean, that has not happened here at all.
Yeah. I mean, I see your point, but I have a feeling it's just not going to come out good on her side. I mean, whether it was a joke, whether she just said it, she did something. Where there is smoke, there is fire.
Correct.
So she is guilty of a behavior, period. You see what I'm saying?
So is it the amount of how she is going to be punished? So is that, I mean, her punishments, whether it's going to be morally within the social media realm, or I don't think it'd be criminal. If it was criminal, it had already taken place.
Yeah, but look at it like this. If she even said it to a 14-year-old, with everything else that's going on, she's got 7 kids. You can't tell me there may not be some kind of investigation. And I'm not saying insofar as the police, but you can't say that there's not potential for Child Protective to look into it.
Right. Well, it's too bad because, you know, we'll all make our way in this world, right? You know, it's a tough world.
Yeah, I mean, there have been people that have done lesser than that have had CPS called in on them.
They have, right. And Sean's backing her up. So it's not like he's saying, I want the kids, give me sole custody of the kids. This is a way to do it.
But he's also an enabler.
We don't know what goes behind the closed doors, do we?
No, but I mean, generally speaking, she has said he's an enabler. And her mother has said he's an enabler. So these have come straight from them.
They have how many kids? 9 kids. He is an enabler, all right. He enables something over there because she doesn't like men. She's never been attracted to him. He enables something.
They have 7 kids. He's always paid all of the bills. She's never had a job. Now she's got a girlfriend that lives in the home. She said she's not attracted to men. Now I mean, you see what I'm saying?
You know, and another thing too, which at the very beginning when they started just the first episode, you know that she was going through AA, right? So isn't the first year you're really not supposed to make any major decisions? You're not
Correct.
supposed to do any dating. You're supposed to just spend that all on yourself, getting better. Boy, this poor woman has had so many things happen without the year that really you're not supposed to have happen, right?
Well, I don't know if I call her a poor woman in a way, because you're not supposed to make any major changes. You're supposed to work your steps. You're supposed to have, your AA mentor, and you're supposed to, make amends with family members.
Right.
You're supposed to work towards your first, I can't think of the word, coin or whatever it is.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, right.
You're not supposed to, if you don't have a relationship, you're not supposed to have any new love relationship, period. She's broken all the rules.
And a couple more from obviously when this was all during that time. I mean, right before then, she was obviously, well, we can't say being allegedly.
And then you add being on television to it. And, she did not, I don't want her to be on drugs or alcohol, but she did not seem quite as narcissistic when she was under the influence as she does now. Yeah. Now it's like this.
Did you brought up something, I know when she was talking about amends, didn't she say that she thought she had apologized for this and everything was fine?
I thought I heard she had made amends or something.
Right. So that's what one of those things are. So to me now, thinking about that, if she made amends, what did she have to make amends for?
But I want to know, to whom did she make amends? To whom? Was it Shannon? Was it the child? Was it her priest? Was it whom?
And is Bravo doing this just for ratings? Are they causing all this drama for ratings?
Oh, honey, please. Bravo's always for ratings, in my opinion. In my opinion. All of this is my opinion.
Throw them out there on the street, roll them over a couple times. It doesn't matter if I got some ratings, right? Back up and do it again.
Lord Jesus above and public out there. This is my opinion.
I think it's so hard. I know we talked a little bit about this the other day, but I truly have a hard time in where we're supposed to fit these individuals in and how are we supposed to talk about them, right? Because now, if there are characters in a movie, let's say, okay, Game of Thrones or any other series that we've seen, we don't talk about those individuals, right? We watch movies, we watch them, we enjoy it. We may talk about them, but we don't assassinate the characters, right? We don't, those people. But yet now we're into this reality that we watch their programs, we watch them, and the things that they do based on what they do in these programs, they will be judged, and their personal characters will be judged.
Well, if you think about it, we probably have more expectations of them as human beings than we would of people that are on unreality shows. Yeah. Because think about it, in a bazillion years, you would never catch me doing half the thing. And I'm not talking about the trips and the money and the spending. I'm talking about the caustic behaviors of most of these women. How they want to go for a pound of flesh or hurt somebody or, be rude to the entire population of this state. You would not catch me doing half of these things these women do and don't think twice about.
Right.
But they put themselves on these platforms and they do some of these things and they expect no ramifications for it.
But that's not, to me, see, this is not reality. See, that's why I feel offended. I feel like I'm almost assaulted with that word because don't tell me that it's reality because it's not reality. If say it's a movie, say it's something else. Maybe we need to have a different genre of something that we need to call it. But it's almost you're calling me stupid in a way, because I'm supposed to be accepting the things that these women are doing, saying that they would have done them in their normal lives. Like you say, would we ever have seen something that's coming to mind, Tamara, when she would run away, screaming and yelling from dinners that they all started fighting? Would you see her doing that in a normal circumstance?
I guess it depends on how much alcohol she's put down. Because think about it, most of the time when they've done it, they've been putting it back.
I say has to be more to that. I mean, I've had a lot of alcohol, and usually it makes me go either to the bathroom and get sick, or it makes me pass out somewhere.
Well, yeah. But I mean, you think about the years they've been on the show, and every fact I know, Bravo has alcohol freely around. Right. Every housewife will tell you it is around all the time. Right. They want you to loosen up. Mm-hmm. So you will act out a little bit, be a little more free-spirited.
Better entertainment.
Right. The ones that don't drink inevitably will be gone by girl. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if Brauwyn wasn't acting out sober, she would eventually be gone. So she has to have some kind of story.
Yeah. And to keep it going. So I guess in a way, as a viewer, I feel offended when they try to pass that off. Don't say it's reality, because I know you're scripting it. I know that these ladies wouldn't do it. I just want to shout out to Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. Hey, everyone. She says, hey, everyone. It's just us. I love it. Thank you very, very much.
They're my buddies.
I know when I saw Kim's name some time ago, the Southern Fried and Gluten-Free. I love that. I absolutely love it.
She has some of the best recipes. She's got a good channel.
I'm going to try it. Well, that is our other side part of this channel, is that doing, I turned pescatarian a couple years ago. Actually, no, it was a full vegan SOS diet. Have you ever heard of those? Gluten-free, no dairy, no salts, oils, sugars. It was pretty much an elimination diet. I went on an elimination diet.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
3 or 4 months, and then slowly introduced foods back into my diet. It was crazy. It's been crazy 2 years, but I'll have to share some recipes, because I will be going live with some chefs and stuff, so it'll be fun.
The only other SOS I've heard on, we can't say it, it's S on a shingle.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
That's a meal my grandmother would make. Was
I think that's military. Was that not military?
Well, it probably is. But chipped beef and gravy over toast.
I love that. Or biscuits. My family's from Arkansas and Missouri, so I have a very Southern family. And I remember always going to food, and it's either fried or could be fried or fried.
Yeah, I can't eat a lot of fried food.
Nor can I. I've never been that way. But so, yeah, I know that we probably should wrap up a little bit. But, Dana, I have a hard time. I'm looking forward to seeing tonight. I want this sort of resolved in my mind, because I guess she's going to be dropping her receipts of how she actually came to Monica, how she came by these receipts, and to prove to, I guess, public opinion, so we could be, given information one way or another, is this accurate or not. I don't know if that's going to resolve the situation. It might make it even more confusing.
Yeah, but like E-Network, they're typically real careful before they also put news out. So,
but again, I'm as a court reporter, every word means something.
Oh, I don't disagree with you whatsoever, because when I saw patients, I was meticulous over every letter that went down on my report. So yeah.
You have to be very careful. And to crucify as she has been, I mean, I just hate to hear people, because you know the story, you know, the telephone line, somebody says something and somebody else will say something, and how it has changed as 10 people down the lines heard it. And when I hear people saying that she's given an underage girl actual drugs, like, no, that is not at all what happened. And that's what gets frustrating. I believe everybody has a right to prove themselves innocent before that they're stricken. And I'm just not sure that's our culture these days. I think
everybody goes for the, ooh, they jump on the meat of drama and how much can we blow this story up. So I get what you're saying.
and
But
worry about everybody else's ashes burnt along the side of the road afterwards. I mean, this is going to be something hard for her to come back from.
yeah, but you know, I feel like with her, and I'm good at being zoning in on what's going on underneath, you know, underneath. And as much as I like parts of her mom and parts of Brauwyn, I don't ever dislike the whole person.
Right.
Because I can see the parts and pieces, you know.
Yeah.
I try to boil down the behaviors. Her mom does have a lot of narcissism, as well as a lot of light. You know, there's the shadow and the light. But her mom was trying to encourage her to take a certain drug while she went into counseling. I watched her talk about it on Instagram. It's been an approved drug for certain studies.
Yes, I've heard about this. I did. I heard her. Isn't Mexico? It's sort of like almost like what the native Indians use during their ceremonies.
Yeah, ayahuasca or whatever.
Right.
Similar to that.
Right.
And I know it's approved for certain studies, but with my background, the flags were everywhere.
Why were the flags going up?
Because, you know, I believe in alternative medicine too, but this was not something that I felt would be viable. She has an addiction problem.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
You
see what I'm saying?
Do we know what she has?
Who, Brauwyn?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know exactly what we know. She has an alcohol problem. We know that. That's been admitted. But do we know?
Addiction is addiction.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You know, addiction goes from one to the next. Look, I've got a family member, I'm not going to say who, and she was addicted to drugs. And then she had to have something else when she got clean from that, okay? And she would have her vino, and then she slowed the roll on that, and no one would call her an alcoholic, but she slowed the roll on that. And then you can have another person that was a drug addict, and then they switch to wine, and then they don't drink wine, so now they have to shop all the time. Yeah. Right? And then they don't want to shop all the time, so then the addiction might switch over to sex. So the addiction button just switches gears to different things if you don't get a handle on it, because it's a mechanism.
You brought up a good point of what has actually happened if you see what's gone on with her life. And I don't want to pick on her, but this poor lady, I mean, I know that I shouldn't use that word anymore. I won't say Brauwyn.
Yeah.
Has gone through a lot. But if you think about it, so the alcohol stopped, and then she got into her sexuality. Her whether or not she's bi or lesbian, I don't know if that's been determined. She says she doesn't like men, but
she said she's a lesbian.
Oh, okay. Well,
she came out and said, "I am a lesbian."
Full-on lesbian. I'm curious if that will change in the next 2 years as she progresses through her journey of alcoholism. of that. I just think that maybe she's going through things a little bit too fast. And like you said, from one addiction to another, let me jump on the next train, right?
Yeah.
I hope she figures it out. I always hope the best for these women. I never say anything worse. I don't know how she's going to get out of this, though. I mean, if there has been every receipt, I don't know where she's going to go. Maybe move. They'll move. You might watch her move out of the OC and try to get away from it all.
I think she needs to get off TV and get her life and her health together, and make sure she's still got little tinies. Make sure the health of her family is okay. I mean, I wish the best for everybody. I always hope that people do the next right thing.
Yeah.
Whatever that next right thing is. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, when I saw that episode and she was admitting she was going through alcohol treatment and all of the steps, my question was, why are you still on this show? Why? To me, that would be such a difficult, because we talked about it before, of the circumstances they put you in. We know that those two things don't go. That's oil and water. The first thing they do is they have the alcohol bottles whenever, all of the things that she's gone into. So that is, to me, saying production is just setting it up for a failure for her. Just let's throw her out there as a piece of meat in a lion's den.
But you see, addiction is only part of the problem. I mean, there is a mechanism that can get triggered, and it gets triggered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can have something in them that all it takes is a certain trigger to throw you into that, right? Maybe you're addictive personality, maybe you're not. But, she has all of these other deeper seated things that she's never coped with, never dealt with, never gotten the treatment for that.
Right.
So as long as she's not looking at that stuff, she's out there.
And I would really not want to see this on TV. I'm sorry. There's things that I just don't need to see someone going down in a train wreck. And I hate to see that. And I hope that they don't.
I mean, look, look what happened to Denise. Look what is happening to Brauwyn. Look what they made us watch with Kim Richards. Are they thinking that we want to see the demise of women? I don't want to see the demise. I want to see the come up.
Right.
I want to see the lift up. I want to see them do stuff in the community. I want to see, let's see them go out and have a trip and have a party and do this and that. But I want to see them do some good things out there.
Right. And philanthropic. How about why not watch some of it at philanthropic or volunteering the time? I know that they sometimes volunteer. Why don't we see the good things?
Yeah, they can have their bicker and their fight. That's what they did on Sex and the City.
Yeah.
They got in disagreements and had dramas and all that crap here and there. But we don't have to see people just entirely decimated or have to see people just crash and burn.
Correct. I know that whole thing with Haley Page. Do you know who Haley Page is?
I don't think so.
She's a wedding designer. She sort of sold out young. She signed a contract, basically gave away her name. Kate Spade.
I know who Kate Spade is.
She ended up being an alcoholic and taking her life, basically. You get people to such a bad position. What do you want to keep pushing them? You're going to keep pushing them and keep pushing them until one day they do break, because people break these days, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to see somebody break in front of me. That's not something that I want to see, nor would I ever want to know that I watched and supported the demise of someone.
Absolutely.
So I do wish the best for Brauwyn, however this ends up. I wish the best for Shannon. Her daughter, I don't think her daughter's doing badly. I think her daughter's fine. My comment about that every kid of Newport sort of knows about drugs is just because when they were first putting it out, it was like, oh, she heard about the drugs. Well, I'm telling you, kids talk about that all the time. So it's not like, it hurt her little virgin ears. I'm sure the daughter might have even been saying something about it in the first place for it to come up. What is it just going to come up in the middle of nowhere? Is Brauwyn just going to come up to a 14-year-old and say that? There had to have been something that was said to start that conversation.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know. But see, in a mother group where they're your friend, my friend probably would have said, "Oh, by the way, you might want to, this is what I heard." Or the mother friend would have say, "Look, you girls know you don't want to be talking like that, or you don't want to be dealing with that stuff
Right.
because you never know when you're going to get hurt."
Right.
And
And
that's what a mom does.
right. And do we know that Shannon didn't do that? See, that's another thing. That's why I hate just getting this piecemeal, because we really don't know that she didn't do that. I mean, we don't know that, as if she heard, like we talked about, that could be a possibility that the girls talked, the young daughters talked and got it out in the open. So it had to start coming up. And that's how Shannon heard. I believe that there was probably a conversation knowing Shannon. But that can't come out yet because it's not the second reunion part 2, is it?
True. But on the flip side, I mean, Shannon drinks like a, from what we can see, don't know behind closed doors, but she
That,
drinks.
that was the issue last season, though. Remember, Dana? They were all, when they got in they were in Mexico, I think, at the time. And they sort of all got together and tried to do the intervention kind of thing while they were all in Mexico. And then let's go out and have some tequila. Okay. It's either hospitals. Someone has to go to a hospital, right? In all of their ventures.
Yeah.
Someone ends up at the hospital on top of a bar dancing, which that's happened quite a few times. We've seen that.
We need a new formula. Bravo just needs to, something needs to happen, because I think I'm just tired of it.
I think, yeah, you're right. With social media. Social media is too fast. We know what happens before it's happening. They air. We already know the truth, whether it's not, I think we're too ahead of the game. So I think they'll figure it out. We're all just sort of an adjustment now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, Dana, thank you so much for talking with me about this. I appreciate it. Kim, thank you very much for joining us. And for those of you who are going to be catching this afterwards, please subscribe. Please hit that like button. I really would like to get to 1,000 people, because I would like to be able to do this on my phone where I have better camera quality. But I'll have to go out and I'll have to invest in some things, because this is fun. I love talking with you. I love sharing our ideas. And Kim, I will look you up on IG for some recipes. Maybe we'll share some things, and I will catch up with you again. I hope you join me again for another topic, Dana.
That would be awesome. Thank you for inviting me.
And maybe I'll see you in the chat in a few hours. Maybe it's going to be coming up in an hour or two. And we'll see the news, and we'll share the news as it drops together.
Yes. We'll see what happens. Lord have mercy. Let all of them get some help.
I'm going to go get a drink. Thanks again. Have a great weekend. I'm sure we'll catch up on whoever we're watching today. And let's check out next week. See you. Thanks again, Kim. Talk to everybody soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.